than enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you, instead of sending the mail, you can send the message also. That is not, like you want me send only the mail, not like that. If you want send, you can send to the mail ID. I mean that reference ID to the mobile
Right.
also.
Yeah.
If you're looking the security,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that is all right. So regarding that, whatever you wish, we can able to do it. Okay,
Yeah, not a problem.
not
Mm-hmm.
a problem. Right. All right. I'm starting the recording also. So last class we have completed completely about that. What is it?
Introduction.
Yes, introduction about what are the course content we are going to be cover. All those we will see. Today we will see the history of you know SOA suit, right? History of SOA
Yeah.
suit we will see. What is the you know so why SOA suits are SOA came into the market. What are the reasons? Earlier systems, what we have a drawback. You know So what are the advantages we have over the earlier system, the SOA suit. So then after that, what are the roles and responsibilities in SOA suit? We will see all those part today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So generally yesterday, I mean, we discussed about that. What is that? Generally, prerequisites we have discussed completely. Generally, what is a tightly coupled system? You have understood, right? Yesterday. So tightly coupled system
Yes. Mm-hmm.
is nothing but
Yep.
what it is highly depend. The group of or group of applications or group of modules are highly depend on one on another. Okay, if you do anything changes in one area, I mean one module which is going to be reflecting into the entire modules. So that is called tightly coupled system. Understood? So generally, in the tightly coupled system, what will happen? So there are too many responsibilities or too many concerns because spread out to the many areas. Understood
Right.
clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is about the tightly coupled system. So before SOA, actually, what we have, we will go to that history now. Okay. So in during the 70s and 80s, we don't have a client server. We don't had any client server model also. So we had only the single tier architecture, like so that is the software itself. It has going to be used for designing and developing, and that is acts like as a database also. Some of the things we have like that. One is Pro, mainframes, and all those. Okay. So those are the softwares which you use it to you can able to design and you can able to act like as a client as well as server both same. Okay.
Right.
So what is the example over there for that exactly? The mainframe actually. So mainframe during the 70s and 80s, which was used, I mean, which was used by the market use actually. So what will happen? All the processing in the single computer only. Like you can raise the request, and it is do some business logic over there on over there only, and it will get output there only. Everything you can process in the single machine only. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So all the resources which are going to be attached to the same computer or same machine. So that's why we can call it as a single tier architecture, or in other word, one tier architecture, right?
Right.
So what will happen? So access via dumb terminals, we are going to be accessing the data. So these are simple and efficient, and there is no complicated for managing and all those. Understood? So these are the
Right.
advantages about the single tier. Then by using that, what will
Mm-hmm.
happen? So business logic, presentation logic, and data layer, all three are, you know, associated with a single computer. Understood? By using the
Correct.
dumb terminal, we will able to access the information from that. So what are the disadvantages or what are the limitations we have by using the single tier or single software? See, generally what will happen, there is a performance issue, right? All three are, all three are tied to the same machine or in a single computer. So it's a performance issue, right? And second problem, so there is a chance of replicating the data or something like that, duplicating the data. Understood? And
Mm-hmm.
you cannot able to develop the business logic and presentation logic by using the single. I mean, you can develop by using the single platform, right? So but all the applications whatever you design using the single tier, you can run only in a single machine, right? You cannot able to extend to the other machines. Understood? So all
Right.
those are the problems, and which is, see, what will happen whenever my machine is going to be crashed, either it may be due to hardware or due to software failures. and there is no backup of my machine because I am maintaining all applications in a single machine or single computer, right? That's why it's a
Mm-hmm.
maintenance problem and reliability problem. It's moreover it is not scalable, very expensive because in one machine if I'm maintaining all the applications, it's very expensive, right? So
Mm-hmm.
those are the limitations which we have. So to overcome that, what will happen? So 80s or 90s, so they were came with a solution called client server architecture or dual servers architecture, right? So the business logic and presentation logic, which is going to be moved to the other PC called client side, and in server tier we may have the data about the application. Understood. So first, what will
Mm-hmm.
happen, which is going to be improves the performance whenever you comparing to the one tier or something like that single tier software, and and also these are the thick lines actually, right? Why
Right.
the and these are the thick lines because the client holds the business logic and as well as the presentation logic, and the client server model which spans to the distributed services. The first time the services are going to be distributed by using the client server model, which are called by the clients. Understood? Server
Mm-hmm.
generally server provide the services, so those are treated like as a different missions from the client. Okay, all the services which are accommodated by the server and which is accessed by the clients. Understood?
Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, client and servers logically those two are the processor. Whenever you are mapping, so by using mapping of those processes, so is not necessarily actually. So that's why we can call it as a these are flat clients or thick clients. Okay, because so the client layer itself is going to be responsible for taking the GUI inputs from the client or user. Understood? And also which are going to be executing the business logic regarding those requests, and it is going to be processing to the data type for the accessing for generating the response. So that's why two things it is going to be doing. By that, what will happen? There is a burden on the client, and directly it is
Mm-hmm.
going to be communicating to the data type, and there is some burden on the data tier also. So that's why we can call it as client server architecture or dual tier architecture. We can call it as a fat clients or thick clients. Understood? So generally, all the applications are in this client server architecture. All the applications you can move to the different machines. Okay, you can distribute all the applications for reusing. Okay, so here
Mm-hmm.
improve the maintenance and reliability. Understood? And so generally, what will happen? Early years, this distributed application architecture was very dominated at the time of 80s and 90s. Then what will happen here? So the problem is performance issue, and because why it is going to be widely used at the time of 80s and 95. So the desktop systems has going to be interacting with the central database server. So these one tier architecture, those call it as a desktop applications. In other words, desktop systems cannot able to connect to the centralized database server. But by using the client server, we can able to connect to the centralized database server. Okay, I can able to
Right.
connect. So if you will take any example, so I want to place some orders regarding say regarding some you know some products. So I need to connect to the centralized database server or not. For that, which I require the distributed applications or not. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the reason the client server, which was used very widely during that condition, and this also having its own limitations. So architecture should be like this. So earlier, business logic, data layer, and as well as presentation layer should be in a same machine. Now the business logic is going to be spread over to the terminal. Okay, say this is client machine and this is server machine. Okay, in the server machine you may have the only data. Okay, about the
Mm-hmm.
application, and in the client side you may have the business logic and as well as the presentation logic, which is going to be
Correct.
accept the user's request and displaying the output also. Understood?
Right. Right.
And
Right. Right.
these client server architecture also, this is one type of distributed application, right? So which is also having
So
the
the
limited.
client server architecture is called the thick client, right? That's what because it's has all the application the client application has the business logic, and the database server, the second server, has the data in it, right?
Yes, that's why you can call it as thick clients.
The client server, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the client
So
server. I mean, so
yes.
basically, yes.
Yes. So what are the common limitations which we have with the dual tier architecture actually? So generally whenever you are processing the business logic, it's a complex actually. If it is having the user application, it cannot able to process, right? So because
Right.
both are doing at the same level, taking the request there only and executing the business logic there only. If two requests are high or heavy, then it is a complex for processing to the clients at the client side, right? It demands,
Yeah.
robust. I mean, it's demand more, more robust client systems actually. And again,
Mm-hmm.
for maintaining the security is more difficult actually in this client server model or something like that, so dual tier architecture because
Correct.
that algorithms and logics reside on the client side. So at the client side, it's very difficult, right, to maintaining the security, making
Right.
so there is a chance of hacking the details. And second disadvantage is network bandwidth is needed high actually for accommodating the many clients, right, from to the
Mm-hmm.
server. So which imposes generally scalability restrictions. Understood?
Right.
So whenever you want to mean that maintenance and upgrades, which are going to be increased for one tier architecture, but which is also difficult because each client has to maintain separately again. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So the
Right.
client server model generally most of the database oriented standalone applications, and still
Mm.
these client servers also not scalable. One tier also not scalable, and even two tier also not scalable because some of the limitations which we have whenever we will go with the scalability. Okay, and these
Right.
client server model also tightly coupled, one tier also tightly coupled, and this is also tightly coupled. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
also whenever you want to create the database connection from the database server, I mean those are very expensive actually because I'm creating from the client side only. See, the logic is already written in application. Based on that, we are going to be creating the connections. It's very very expensive. Okay, and it is going to be connecting to the limited number of connections, client connections concurrently before the database server spends to the more time, right? The connections. So processing requests are very limited. I mean limited, right? So
Yeah.
concurrently, it is going to be accepts the very limited client connections. And see, if you do like that, there is a cost effective, right? Generally, many users uh, for getting the database connection, it's again cost effective. So those are the common limitations which we have whenever we are going with the client server architecture or dual server architecture. So
Mm-hmm.
due to that reasons, there came the other solution called layered application architecture or three-tier
Three-tier
architecture.
architecture.
So
Yeah.
late 95s and 2000s. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what it was doing in that, so the business logic and presentation logic and as well as the data type spread across the three tiers actually. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So which is going to be separated. So by that only you can sense the performance is going to be increased, right? Because
Right.
so the client cannot have anything over there. Just to have the presentation layer which is going to be accept the user request, and that everything which is going to be passed through the middle layer to that application to the data tier. Okay, by that what will happen, user interface stored in the only client, that user interface related which is going to be stored in only client. Okay, business logic which is going to be stored maybe one of more servers. See that applications we are going to be distributing, right, a number of servers. So the data also,
Mm-hmm.
I mean that whatever we are installing in middle layer, that we are going to be distributing, right, for a number of servers for handling the load
Correct.
and as well as the scalability.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that allows, it is going to be generally the three-tier architecture layered applications. By that we can call it as thin clients, right? Because which are
Right.
going to be managed very better than the fat clients approach. Okay, because fat
Right.
client approach there was no middleware, so they are directly contacting client to the server data tier. Okay, Here, these are more scalable, and these are more scalable and demandable, and these are going to be added the extra servers whenever it required. Understood?
Yeah.
So generally, so the presentation layer and application layer and data management layer, which we have the three layers actually. Which we already discussed about the presentation layer. So what is the presentation layer generally? It is going to be,
Excuse me. Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry for that. Go ahead.
Shall I?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So the presentation layer generally concerned with the presenting the results of the requesting the things. Okay, taking the request and presenting the results, and collecting all the user inputs and getting the or presenting the results. And application layer or processing layer generally which is going to be concerned about the business logic, right? So regarding the
Mm-hmm.
request which is going to be executing. So example, whenever you want to open account or whenever you want to close the account or whenever you want to withdraw account, these are all the some banking functions. Those are all where it has going to be stored under the business logic only, right?
Right.
So so data type generally is concerned about managing the applications data or system data. Whenever you want, you can retrieve, or whenever you want, you can store into the database, right? So
Right.
thin client model means why we can call it as thin clients generally. So in the thin client, what will happen? So the client server, whatever it has going to be, raise the request. Those are processed through the application server, or in other words, through the application, you can process to the database for managing the data, right? Which is going to be
Right.
carried out of the server, which we cannot able to move directly to the server from the client. In middle, we are going to be sharing the load by using the middleware. Okay.
Correct.
So the
Right.
data type which is going to be, sense and improve the performance. That's why this is called thin client or thin client model approach. And earlier we have seen the fat client model approach. Understood?
Correct.
And
Yes.
improved performance and improved maintenance and reliability, and improved scalability, which means it has going to be supporting all the clustering services and applications also running in middle layer at one area called J2W application server. The only one thing, so what we need to do here is the architecture of the three-tier architecture. Okay, so this is database server, J2W application server. It may be anyone and client. So like this
Yeah.
fashion, it is going to be processing the request. And coming to
Right.
here, what are the advantages we have by using the three-tier or something like that, application layered architecture? The first one, scalability, which means application servers can deploy it to the on many machines actually. See, uh, assume like that ICICI Bank application. So I have used clients across the globe, right? So I can able to distribute a number of machines, right, for managing the load and high availability. So there is a reason. Scalability is nothing but whenever you required, you can add the servers, and whenever it required, you can remove the servers for increasing the performance, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
by distributing those applications, what we are doing actually, we are reusing, right? Reusability. So all the once you develop, we are reusing, right, a number of times in a day. See, the ICSF application one time only they were developed, and they are adding, of course, some updates. But every day we are using that application, right? You are logging to that, you are
Yeah.
doing and same thing, right? Which means you are
Yeah.
reusing a number of times, right? Which means that
Yeah.
application is going to be transparent through the middle tier, right? And
Yeah.
also which is going to be providing the data integrity, which means all the code and all the updates which are going to be maintained at one place called middle tier. Whatever you do, any changes in that, which is going to be reflecting to the entire domain. Understood. Improved security. So generally, which is going to be improved the a lot security about the complete application, which is going to be provide the security your application. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever it required, it is going to be provide the security about the domain. So security about the application specific, which is also offered by the three-tier or layered architecture, and it is going to be reduced the distribution. See, generally what will happen, the business logic, what it is going to be doing, update on each application server whenever you are in a client server actually, which is not distributed on each client. What we are going to do, whenever you update in the application, which is going to be reflect to the all areas, right? All distributed
Right.
application
Right.
in one centralized server, because as ICSI having the one central server, right? Probably it may be somewhere
Mm-hmm.
whenever they do this those changes in a main server, which is going to be reflecting those all the distributed applications also, right?
Right.
You're selecting the targets only, right?
Yeah.
Understood. And improve the availability, which means if any one of the server or any one of the application in middle it is not going to be working while processing the request, so it can fail out to the other machines or in the network or other servers whenever it occurs the failure. By that it is going to be improve the availability of the servers, right? So these
Mm-hmm.
are the advantages which is provided by the three-tier architecture. And what are the limitations here we have? See, we are distributing the applications into the various machines or different machines, right? Which means, so indirectly we are doing the complexity, right? I mean, complex maintenance, right? So there is a problem with maintaining. So there is a complexity of architecture, okay? See, if you take
Mm-hmm.
it as a bank application, it is having the clients across the globe, but how many servers which required for maintaining those client connections, for 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 getting the high availability about those clients, right? So it's require more servers, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
means very complex, right? Maintaining. Understood.
Right.
More complex build compared
Yeah.
with the two-tier architecture, right? And also it is also somewhat achieved the reusability. It is also not completely loosely coupled system. It is somewhat which is achieved the loosely coupled system. Still you can call it as tightly coupled only, which means it is having some drawback also in this also, right? So these are the common
Right.
limitations actually. And among that, so they were using some other things called distributed applications, distributed object architectures. Understood? What are those
Right.
actually? So what is the difference between that client server and this distribution object? Generally, there is no difference between those two, right? So in distributed object architecture, what will happen? So the object is going to be providing services to the other object. Okay. In this, what will happen? We are using the service. There we are using the request. Okay. Everything which is going to be provided in the form of service. Okay. To other object. So whenever
So
receive
I'm
the
sorry,
service,
here we are using the service, and what we are using over there, I mean, was that?
they request. There is no service. So directly they'll calling and
Request,
accepting
I
the
mean. Okay.
request. We
Request.
are not
Okay.
we are not creating.
Okay.
See, those are the applications. So set of people they
Right.
are using, right? We are not recreating all those, make it as a one service. We are not creating. We are using directly. But these
Right. Right.
distributed object architecture, what they will do? So these objects are providing the service to other objects and receives as a
Mm-hmm.
service from the other objects. So understood. Even
Right.
you can make a request in a service and you will get the response in a service. Understood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Generally, which is going to
Yeah.
be done through the middleware system called object, request broker. Generally, we can call it as Oracle Service Bus, Enterprise Service Bus, Advanced
Mm-hmm.
Queuing, Oracle AQ, Advanced Queuing. All those we can call it as a service bus. Understood? We will do through the
Okay.
middleware that service interaction process. Understood?
Correct. Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
generally,
Yeah.
that client server is more complex actually for us. So that's why later, after completing those, they were developed these distributed object architectures. Okay. What are the advantages of this distributed object architecture generally? So generally, this is going to be allows, you know, how the services are going to be should provided, where it is going to be located, how flexible and how scalable those are, right? How allows the new resources to be added to whenever it required. Okay, so these are generally possible dynamically. The system is going to be dynamically takes those services and migrating across the networks whenever it required. Understood? So
Mm-hmm.
these distributed object architecture, what are the examples available in the market? Corba, RMI, and DCOM. Understood? Corba,
Mm-hmm.
RMI, and DCOM. So what is the generally first we will see prior service oriented architecture. These are okay before SOA suite. These are also
So
yeah
these are the Corba Java RMI was before SOA, or yeah, before SOA, or what was
no
that? I
prior
mean,
prior. It is before SOA.
uh-huh.
Before SOA, they were they were already as some distributed applications, but they have some problem. That's what we are going to be discussing now.
Okay.
What are
Okay.
those?
Okay.
So what are those? These are the first service oriented architecture for. I mean, earlier also we have service oriented architecture. So these are the distributed object architecture. They are providing whenever the client requests a service, they are providing the services. But
Right. Right. So
before
that's what I'm
SOA,
asking is before the SOA, I mean, these are the services. I mean, right? DCOM,
yes,
Corba, and
yes,
GRMI was
yes,
providing the distributed objects
yes,
services.
exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for many
Yes.
people, what will happen? In the past, they were used DCOM and uh,
I I
Corba,
heard about Corba. I mean, yes,
yes,
Corba. Yes.
Corba, Java
Yes.
Rmi. They were used about all the service-oriented
Mm-hmm.
architecture specifications. And see,
Okay.
let us we
Okay.
see first we will take the remote method invocation, which is nothing but Java Rmi. So generally, what it is going to be doing? So this remote method Java Rmi, so which is going to be designed and developed by using some standard mechanism by the Sun Microsystems. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
this enables a distributed Java object-based application development. So even in WebLogic also we have seen RMI. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. You
so
did. I mean, yeah.
yes, so this is the true distributed computing application. Generally, what it has going to be providing, it has providing the interface for Java, right? It has providing the easy access to the existing remote virtual machines. Understood? So generally, which
Mm-hmm.
has what it has going to be doing Java RMI, which has going to be enables the object-oriented distributing computing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So by using this, what we will able to do? So this RMI is going to be allows to call the remote Java objects by passing the arguments or by returning the some values. It is going to be calling the remote Java objects, right? So generally this
Right.
RMI which uses the Java serialization, right? Understood. And
Mm-hmm.
the technique they were used in the Java RMI, understood. So it helps generally what will happen. These objects are going to be access or Java Rmi is mainly useful for accessing the remote virtual machines. Understood? It can provide
Right.
more advanced features like serialization, security. Generally, Java Rmi which uses the T3 protocol. That's why we were used in WebLogic T3. Now you got
Mm-hmm.
this is the distributed
Mm-hmm.
application T3. T3 protocol we have seen, right, just like HTTP. In WebLogic we have seen, right, this
Right.
one.
Right. Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
what.
Yes.
And generally, what is the biggest disadvantage of this Java RMI, which is limiting to only the Java applications? We can able to
Mm-hmm.
do all the service-oriented architecture and all those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it
Mm-hmm.
limits to only Java applications. It can able
Right.
to it can able to get the existing services remotely. All right, remote objects are defined only the Java to Java interface rather than having other special purpose, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it limits to the only Java, or I mean, only Java to Java. It has going to be communicates effectively in a distributed environment. That's why WebLogic is especially belongs to the J2EE application server. Not only WebLogic, many other application servers also. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you get it? What is remote method invocation Java RMI? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, clear, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So let us we see what are the advantages of the Java RMI. First, we will see the advantages. Later, we will see the disadvantages. So advantages means it is one of the distributed application, which is similar like that, like client server architecture. So generally, this RMI uses while in in a network, which uses the network communication protocols, right, for providing the object-oriented approach, inter-process communication, or intra-process communication. Understood?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
generally, this RMI, which uses the T3 protocol, so over the network, which enables the distributed resource management, right? Best processing power
Right.
usage and load balancing and Java application models. And also this RMI Java RMI, which has able to interoperating between the core bar clients and Java clients. Understood? By using those
Correct.
interoperability. So these are some advantages which we have with the Java RMI. And what are the biggest disadvantages which we had with Java RMI? RMI which is limited to only the Java platform. Understood? If application is developed in .NET, which you cannot able to access remotely those objects,
Mm-hmm.
which is limited to only the Java, which means only the Java. See, myself, I'm the client of ICSA. I'm using the Java. My software was developed in a Java only. And even if I want to communicate with other bank, so those also designed and developed in Java only. Then only it is possible the distributed environment easily. Understood? That integration
Mm-hmm.
should be only Java to Java. Understood?
With RMI.
Yes, with RMI. So generally what will
Yes.
happen again, that is one big disadvantages. And second one, so this distributed middle generally which is not provide language independence. So that's what we spoke till now, which is does not provide the language independence, which is depend on the Java language. Okay. So generally this
Mm-hmm.
that's why in the sense, in other words, you can call it as it is a tightly coupled system, right? Simply. Hello.
So RMI, I mean, we consider as a, yeah, RMI we consider as a tightly coupled system.
Yes. See, which cannot accept the other platforms, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It is having the platform. It does
Right,
not
right, right,
providing the platform independence. In the sense, it is a tightly coupled, right? If you do any
tightly coupled.
changes, which
Yeah,
is going to be affect to the all modules again, it is a tightly coupled again, right? Because
correct,
of the
correct.
connection oriented nature and all those. Understood? So, and again, that high
Yeah.
availability and the application model which becomes very challenging in this RMI. Okay, RMI generally does not provide any session management support, and typically it is like client server implementation only, right? Which maintains the session state in a multiple clients whenever
Right.
you access it. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So generally,
Mm-hmm.
so these are the some disadvantages, and support also biggest problem in RMI. Support as the biggest problem in the RMI whenever you're using the RMI as a service. Understood? So
Mhm.
these are the disadvantages while using the RMI. So afterward, we have the other one called, right? CORBA, Common Object Request Broker Architecture. I think this is a old one, I think,
Mhm.
right? So CORBA is a
Mhm.
generally how providing that one. This is also very similar like that. And CORBA generally, which is come from the object management group actually, which was designed and developed by the object management group, right?
Mhm.
It is also like another middleware. So generally, what it is going to be doing, so it is going to be any vendor, like it's almost any computer or any operating system, any program language, and any network. It can operate with the CORBA based programs, same or
Mhm.
another vendor. Understood? So generally,
Mhm.
what will happen? So programming language, and generally it is going to be operating system, programming language, and a network. All those should be in a service-oriented architecture. And for that, what we will able to do? So we are using this separate called ORBs here, Object Request Broker, for operating those, servicing those requests. Earlier we are using the Java, right? Java messaging.
Mhm.
So RMI. So in this we are using the object, request broker. So based on the core bus specifications. Understood? Really, it
Mhm.
has going to be increased a lot performance whenever you're comparing with the RMI. So it has going to be it has going to be brought into the industry the service oriented architecture after Corba into the market, right?
Mhm.
So Corba generally what it has going to be doing, it has going to be especially specification which is depend on the ORB, object request broker. Understood? So in Corba, what we are going to be doing, so generally it is going to be communicate with one another, whether it may be a locally or remote devices, written in a different languages also. Understood?
Mhm.
At any
Mhm.
at different locations in a network. But what is the dependency here? ORB, Common or Request Broker Architecture. Understood?
Mhm.
And again, which is different from the client server model, and generally it is having some advantages and disadvantages which is completely depend on the object request broker, right? So the transformation, sending and receiving the services and responses from one object to other object, so completely which depend on the ORB only, object request broker. Understood? So whenever the
Mhm.
client calls anything which is going to be responsible for finding its services and implements that request has going to be passes to the parameters, and what it
Mhm.
has going to be doing invokes and it will give the final result. Understood? So Corba generally,
Yeah, yeah.
whenever the client raise a request, it has going to be received as a services and which allows in a distributed environment to process. Understood? And
Mhm.
initially it was not supported the interoperability. After Corba 2.0 was came into the market, which has going to be supports the interoperability, did when the ORB vendors. Okay, right? ORB.
Mhm.
Generally, it's a protocol dependent actually. ORB uses the IIOP protocol. By using that protocol only, so they can able to uh, make it the interoperation its associated services. Understood? It's again dependency. It is not supporting the standard protocols. Understood? It supports its own
Mhm.
client protocol. What is that? IIOP protocol. There is no standard
Mhm.
protocols here supporting, right?
Right.
So there is the biggest problem. What are the core advantages and disadvantages? Advantages means what? It is a language. It is a language independence, and it supports the legacy application integrations, and all those dynamic invocation interface, which is not possible in RMI actually. So generally, what are the
Right.
disadvantages? See, these are the highly cost effective actually. And second one, high availability. That integration is the biggest problem in the core bar, right? And again, that
Okay.
scalability, which is nothing but it is tightly coupled system again because of that core bar ORB, right? So
Mhm.
Corba ORB, and by using the IIVB protocol, it has going to be connects, and it is not providing the very high scalability expected to the enterprise application may not be achieved actually by using this Corba. Understood? So it has having the lot more features better than other than that RMI. Okay, but it is having its own
Mhm.
disadvantage. Again, it is also finally it is a tightly coupled system. Understood? Corba
Right,
also.
right, right.
So the
So
last,
basically, it's similar to RMI.
no, it has language
I
independence.
mean, it works like an RMI, right,
It
Korba?
works like RMI only. It has
Language.
language
Okay.
independence, and you can integrate with the custom applications, right? But
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
depends. It depends on a lot of things like ORB or and it uses its own client protocol only, IIOP. Other than it cannot support,
Mhm.
and scalability is the problem. and it's cost
Mm-hmm.
effective. All those problems. Understood. Cross-platform integration, it is not possible in Corba also. Understood.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And coming to that other one, distributed component object model DCOM. This is another distributed component coming from the home Microsoft. Understood. Microsoft also having the distributed system or services, and generally which is a set of Microsoft concepts, generally which are going to be interfaces which client programs. Understood. Whenever the
Mm-hmm.
client raises any services from the server
Mm-hmm.
program, generally it has going to be computer in a network. So DCOM is based on the
Correct.
component object model actually. DCOM is based on the component object model, right, which provides a set of interfaces by allowing the clients and services to communicate within the same computer. Understood? Some set of
Right. Right.
interfaces by using, because COM is
Mm-hmm.
nothing but common object model. By that it has providing
Right.
some set of interface allowing between the client and server for communicate within the same computer. Understood?
Correct.
So DCOM also work like as a network within an enterprise or any other network besides, and it is also having its own advantages and disadvantages. It is limited to the only Windows system. The first disadvantages. It is limited to only the Windows
Windows.
system. It can work only in the Windows system, and state management is very difficult, and scalability is very big problem, and the session management is very complex and very difficult to manage. The only advantage is what is that? It is successfully providing the complete distributed environment system only on the Windows platform without any trouble, and remaining all the
Mm-hmm.
big problems actually limited to only the Microsoft environments, and only all those. Understood? Those are all the,
Mm-hmm.
again it is tightly coupled system, right, which cannot achieve the loosely coupled system again. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the disadvantages actually. Other best example we will be able to see what are the common problems by using those three distributed object architectures, RMI, Corba, and DCOM. Let us we see here
Mm-hmm.
Corba to Corba applications you can easily
So, question before you move.
yeah.
Yeah, one quick question. In WebLogic, I mean, we have seen that RMI, right, in WebLogic. So are we using extensively RMI in WebLogic, or
No, that is
are we
distributed
still
application, right? We are designing, develop, we are hosting there. RMI
right
is nothing but
distributed?
facilitating the distributed applications, right? But limiting to Java
Yes.
only.
Okay, limited to Java. Okay.
Right. See,
Okay.
what is the biggest problem about by using those three, SOA or SOA examples actually? Corba to Corba, you can communicate easily without any problem. You can integrate. Okay. But what is the
Uh-huh.
biggest problem? Corba to RMI, which we cannot. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And RMI to DCOM, which we cannot. This is the biggest
Uh-huh.
problem. Earlier it was. Okay. These are the common
Okay.
problems by using those systems. So within those
Gotcha. Got
systems,
it.
they are good actually. They are very, very good within those systems. But the cross-platform,
Wisdoms. Gotcha. Yeah.
yes, the cross-platform
Yeah.
integration, which was not possible with them, which are there is no
Okay.
possibility. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
those systems are, we can call it as a tightly coupled system. If I do see, I am integrating with the RMI, even I am also installing in the RMI in my Corba instance also, right? Which means if I do anything here changes, I need to change here also, right? So that is called
Mm-hmm.
tightly coupled system, which is going to be reflecting to the entire enterprise system. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the biggest problem which was facing earlier actually. So those are the problems. What are those? Different type of platforms. First one cannot able to connect, and different type of languages cannot able to integrate, and collaboration across the enterprises and issue because all the distributed systems, right? All the
Mm-hmm.
Corba and DCOM, those are non-standard ports. See,
Mm-hmm.
cannot use the standard protocols. If you take the SOA, it will use the standard protocol called HTTP over the SOAP for accessing all the services. One is standard,
Mm-hmm.
but which would here in these systems does not have any standard. Core by using the IIOP, RMI using the P3 protocol, DCOM using the complex protocol. Every
Mm-hmm.
system having its own protocol. There is no standard protocols. Understood? That's why,
Correct.
and somewhat Corba which assured the some loosely coupled because it is a independence of the language, right? Language independence it is providing, and DCOM also somewhat better. RMI which is completely tightly coupled. Okay, so
Right.
generally
Right.
Corba and RMI DCOM these are adapted to the tightly coupled mechanism, which means only
Mm-hmm.
synchronous communication in the sense request response, not asynchronous. Understood?
Right.
Understood that clearly? So those are the cramped
Mm-hmm.
problems which we had earlier actually before SOA suite came into the market. So those are the current challenges. Windows to Linux, Linux to Windows, Java, whatever the platform you'll use and whatever the environment it was, there was no problem. Still we are able to integrating across all the enterprise. Okay. I'm the client. Okay. I'm developing some low level language and I can able to integrate with the enterprise system, right? What is the problem? Everybody cannot able to do the investment right high. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This, see, I'm using some Windows actually. If I get in some package, I cannot able to upgrade into that Linux again because of that integration problem, right? Those are the current business challenges. Cross platform integration was, which is not possible by using common these systems. Okay.
Right.
Understood clearly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No problem, right?
No, no problem.
So
Yeah.
these are the
So I
common.
mean, basically, what we are seeing in this tightly coupled system is if we have a different applications installed on different version of operating system, different operating system, not version, different operating system like Windows, Linux, or any other operating system.
Whatever it
So
is,
it will,
it
yeah,
may
whatever
be,
it is. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it may be any
So
language, it may be any module. We are going to be
yeah.
integrating those modules, and we need to get final result by combining, by orchestrating, or by integrating all those services. I need to get the result.
So, but that is not possible in a tightly coupled system.
Yes,
So, okay, like in the one we just looked at it, the core
yes,
bar decom,
yes. So those are all
mhm,
successful integration applications.
RMI.
Yes.
Mhm,
So Corba, RMI, and DCOM, those are successful distributed applications within the homogeneous environment, not
mhm, mhm.
heterogeneous environment. That's why we
Right,
can call
right.
it as a tightly coupled system. Understood?
Mhm, mhm. Okay.
So those are
So
the
that
some.
means the RMI only works within the Java environment system, I mean, right?
Yes.
RMI?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So those are the challenges which we have before SOA came into the market, and again, which does not provide any functionality. And this is called point-to-point integration, which means one after other.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let us we see these are the current business challenges. I'm using some ERP, or I want to integrate all those in different
Mhm,
products, or different areas I want to integrate. Okay, at one
mhm,
platform. So there is
mhm,
no software like that before SOA came into the market, which was there,
mhm,
but those are limited to only those homogeneous environments. Understood?
mhm,
Example,
mhm, mhm.
let us we see the current business challenges, whatever we have, the problems. See, I want to get activate the telephone connection, right? So user requested. Understood? So generally, where it has going to be stored all the customer relation information in a customer relationship management module, right? Right?
Mhm.
So all the
Mhm.
documents and everything which is going to be stored here only. So next, what I need to do. So these are all the other different modules. Generally, billing module they are designing in a .NET, address verification in PHP, credit history in .NET, and this is in Java, and this is VB.NET. So they are using the different platforms. See, first I'm going to the CRM, then I will verify, and later I'll go to here, and later I'll go to here, and credit history, then bill plan. Finally, you will go to the activation, and that integration is which is very complex and very difficult, right? Point to point integration.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Understood? There is no
Uh-huh.
standards. There is no. Well, I mean, it follows the point to point communication model. There is no interoperability. There is no standard protocol. One after other. I cannot integrate by CRM directly to this one. Understood?
Correct.
If I
Yeah,
do
yes.
any changes here, any one of the module, I want to change all the dependencies. Understood?
Right.
How many modules are integrated, or how many applications are integrated? Those many applications I want to change. So
Right.
these are the changes. These are the challenges which we are
So
facing.
in basically in tightly coupled systems, if we have this kind of environment, say we have the CRM module, and then we have the billing. I mean, billing is it developed in .NET, address is developed in
Different,
PHP. I mean,
different,
different,
different.
different. So in that case, I mean, if you make any changes in any of these applications, then we have to make the changes
All
uh,
modules, all
all
applications.
modules in all these applications, right?
So that is one. See, that is the definition of the tightly coupled system. So all
Right.
the application
Okay.
modules which are highly depend on one and another application or other module. Highly
Uh-huh.
dependent.
Uh-huh. Right.
You
So
got
if we
clear?
make any changes, then we have to make the changes in other modules also.
Then only it is going to be integrated. Else it is not going to be work, right?
Okay. 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 Okay.
Understood. See,
Right. Right.
you are sending ICICI Bank. I mean, something. Let us take example from us only. You are sending some
Mm-hmm.
amount through the ICICI Bank, right? Assume.
Okay.
So
Right.
do I have ICICI Bank account or not? Do I need
Yeah,
ICICI
you
Bank or
have to
not?
have another.
Then only it
Yeah,
is
you
possible you
have.
can send, right?
Yeah.
Understood. From ICICI to ICIT. So if
Right.
the specification is required right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the similar like that here. So whenever I want to integrate to other module, which I require both, specifications available in both areas, right? Either it may be in application one and application two. Mutually, it has going to
Mm-hmm.
be know each other, right?
Right. Right.
Then only it has going to
Yeah.
be, recognize those requests and forwarding to the next module.
Mm-hmm.
Understood clearly. So in the sense,
Yes.
I
Yes.
need to change, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So generally, let us we see what are the disadvantages here. So point to point model, one after other, it has going to be integrating and forwarding that. It is completely tightly coupled system. There is a huge integration complexity, and there is no standards they were followed here for accessing those applications. Understood? Those are the
Mm-hmm.
problems actually which we have. So that is the reason. So the first time the market has there were came with a solution called the approach towards the service oriented architecture solution. Understood? The service oriented architecture solution, what we need to do
Solution.
here, by creating the bridge, so between those, by creating the bridge we are providing the solution to all the things. The first thing, whenever you create the service oriented architecture, that which was achieved, the first one is loosely coupled system, right? What is the first one which
Mm-hmm.
is going to be achieved by the SOA? Loosely coupled system. What is a loosely coupled system generally? Which is not all the application modules, which is not highly depend on one module or highly depend on one and another. Understood?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So each components has some separate components. There is no dependency. Understood?
Correct. Uh-huh.
Independent design and evolution. There is no
Mm-hmm.
dependency on one application to other application. All the environments
Mm-hmm.
are decoupled, right? The first
Mm-hmm.
disadvantage is independent design and evolution, and second one, decouple all the environments, and interoperability should be granted here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in a loosely
Mm-hmm.
coupled system, if you do any changes, because so whatever the technologies you are integrating, whatever the platforms you're using doesn't matter here. So whenever client raises a request, that request which is going to be converted into the one common language called web services, and it will give to the target machine in a target understandable language, in a service format. Understood?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the target is going to be executed and will go to the web service, and web service again converted to that understandable language, like source understandable language, and it will display it. So whenever I want to do any changes, I can change only one centralized part, right? That a web
Which is
service
at the
part
web
only.
service.
Yes, the application which are designing by using the SOA, there only I can change,
Uh-huh.
which is going to be reflect to all the systems, right? I don't want change
Okay.
all the systems. All the systems will be
Okay.
like that only. I can change only in my area where I need to change. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
why independent design and integration. Understood? So these are all.
Okay.
Generally, what is service oriented architecture? Any idea?
Yeah.
Any idea what is SOA?
Yeah. Service oriented architecture. No, not really. I mean, no.
Right. So generally, what it is going to be doing, name itself contains service. So service is nothing but any business logic or uh, any logic, any request, right? So generally, what it is going to be doing, by orchestrating all the services. See what we are doing here. Here also, your point to point you are integrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
By orchestrating, which means by combining all those results, we are getting some end result, which is nothing but telephone activation bill, right? Similarly,
Mm-hmm.
here also, so all the services, by using this SOA suite, what we are going to be doing, so we are going to be giving the effectively we are going to be integrating, and it is going to be running with the a head actually, even though after some years you can able to change anything which is ready for adapt the new changes. But earlier systems which is not ready for adapting the new changes, whatever it is
Change.
coming in future. Understood?
Uh-huh.
This
Right.
SOA is providing the solution for adapting the new technologies, for providing the solutions like B2B integration issues and business process management by combining all those series services. Okay?
B2B is business to business, I mean, right?
Yes, exactly. Those integration
Oh,
part which becomes
you see.
very easy and very agile way. It has going to be decreasing
Uh-huh.
the project cost also, and it has going to
Mhm.
be decreasing the project cost and providing the some of the business critical solutions whatever the industry was faced earlier, so which was give a solution in the form of SOA suite. Understood
Okay.
clearly,
Right.
right?
So
Yeah.
SOA is basically is a uncoupled system. It's
Mhm.
an uncoupled system,
It is completely depend on
and
the service, self-contained software.
it's depend on the services, I mean, right?
Yes.
If, yes. So if you make any changes in any components in any service, if you change any, if you make any changes down the road or any changes now, I mean, so you don't have to make changes to the other dependent systems.
Yeah, that is the reason. There is a reason. Only wherever you are integrating, that integration area only you can change.
Right.
So that is the reason.
So, uh
Hmm.
okay.
Right. Generally, service-oriented architecture. What is the service-oriented architecture generally? What is the service first? You can tell me. Service is nothing but it's a self-contained software program that is going to be executing the some specific task or some set of tasks, whatever which is going
Mhm.
to be arising by the user, and such as accessing the database connections and client devices. Even it is going to be communicating with the legacy applications. Understood? So
Yeah,
generally,
that's nothing but the service.
yes, service. So it may be adapting all the adapters, all the legacy applications like legacy ERP and business
Uh-huh.
partners, all the inventory into a collection of all the services. All those are individual services, and it is going to be converted into the collection of services, right? All the collection of services application rather than becoming interoperable. Now what we are going to be doing, we are exposing as a service, collecting all the services, and we are interoperating between the services by using the some mediating services. Understood? One component to other
Mm-hmm.
component. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we,
Mm-hmm.
so that how it is going to be, service is going to be providing from one component to other component by using the some ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. Understood? So there, so this is common actually. There they are in Corba they are using the ORB, right? Object,
Mm-hmm.
bus broker.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, like that,
Right.
they are using the ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. So generally, what it is going to be doing, it's a tool for processing all the messages or all the requests from one component to other component, just like so B2B
Okay.
or BAM or any other component. Understood?
Okay.
Those are all the
Okay.
SOA based platforms. It may be a legacy integration or either it may be a newly
So,
technologies.
right, the ESB, B2B, and BAM are three of them have similar functionality, or they are
No, no,
different? I
no.
mean,
See, ESB use it for combining the services from one component to other component, and B2B
okay,
BAM those are the components in a SOA suite.
okay.
ESB is just like JMS.
Which one? ESB, right?
ESB.
ESB like JMS, I mean.
Yes,
And what about B2B, Business Activity Monitoring and
and
Invoice?
BAM those are the components actually.
Uh-huh.
Components in a SOA suite. There is a different actually. That is also component, but that is a separate purpose. These are the separate
Uh-huh.
purpose.
Okay,
Understood?
okay.
we will
Uh-huh.
we will get into that whenever we will start the
Right, right,
we
right.
were into
Okay.
that now introduction part, right? SOA introduction part.
Right. Okay.
So generally what will happen in SOA, measure the major things. So generally what we will able to do, whatever the things we are having, so that we are eventually what we need to do, we are orchestrating or combining all the services which you have already developed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Already you
Mm-hmm.
developed some services. See, CRM already developed, and some
Mm-hmm.
some other modules which is already developed. What we are doing
Mm-hmm.
independently, we are connecting and getting the results. Instead of that, what we are doing, we are orchestrating all the services, right, already developed,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than
Mm-hmm.
creating the new code, by using the existing code, we are getting the results. We are reusing. By creating the services,
Uh-huh.
we are reusing a number of times. Understood my
Okay.
point clearly?
Right,
Like
right.
CRM is a
Yeah.
different module and other one is a different module. What we are going to do
Mm-hmm.
here, all those are already developed. Why we are going to be integrating independently? See, after I get the CRM results, then I mean details, I'll go with the other one after other, point to
Mm-hmm.
point, right? Why I
Correct.
need to,
Right, right.
I am, see, I make it as a one component, that is also CRM also, and other one also I'll make it one component. Once I will deploy in a SOA, those are combine, those are communicating, or orchestrating the services and generating the one new result, right? Getting the new result,
Right, right.
which means by
Correct.
that you can gradually increase the response time, and lot of things you can increase, right? And
Uh-huh.
you can reduce the cost, and you can rapidly grow the, get the services and all those, right?
Uh-huh.
Understood?
Uh-huh.
Instead of developing,
Yeah.
by combining those, instead of developing new code, by using the
Uh-huh.
existing services, we are getting the
Uh-huh.
results. Why we are going to be the new development? Understood?
Okay. Right, right.
Understood, right? Clearly, why SOA is came into the market.
Mm-hmm.
SOA
Mm-hmm.
is integration tool that you can understand completely by using the
Integration tool, you
service,
mean.
by using the
It's an
service,
yeah,
by using the
integration
services.
tool
So
by
in other words,
using the service.
in our terminology, we can call it as orchestrating. It's nothing but combining the
Okay.
services. Every
Combining
component,
this.
yes, everyone you can make it as a one component, and you see component and composite you will get later. What are the differences? Then that time
Mm-hmm.
you will get to know very clear about that. Understood?
Correct.
Because you don't know what is a component and what is a composite. That's why you're getting some bit confused about that component, right? Okay.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
not a problem, right? For time being, you can understand, right? What is introduction to the SOA? So
Yeah, yeah,
generally,
yeah. I
so
I mean, I'll just recap that so basically the SOA is basically the SOA is a loosely coupled system. It's a
yes,
loosely coupled system. It will accommodate the different for the changes we make in a different applications. It will accommodate all the changes made in the different application. I mean, right? So we don't have to make the changes on once we make changes in an application, so we can make, I mean, basically we don't have to I mean, basically they are not dependent on the other applications. I mean, like say I mean, for the example, I mean, like we saw the telephone
yes, exactly.
telephone billing information, right? The
Yes.
CRM module is developed in CRM,
See,
and
not
then
only,
the other modules is developed in
see,
other
don't take that
languages.
example. You already know the Oracle application. You can take your application only.
Right.
That P2P is a different, O2C is a different. So you can make it as all those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So generally, even
Mm-hmm.
Oracle apps also, it is one of the adapter actually in SOA suite.
Yeah, it is that. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
Yes. So that is also you can take. That is also one of the component.
Okay.
So instead of,
Oracle business application.
yes, instead of developing, so they're
Uh-huh.
using the existing one. They're getting, see what I'm doing here. Instead of I'm integrating all those things, Oracle apps and all those, I'm getting the result finally. I'm combining all the
Right.
services and I'm getting the result. Understood?
Okay.
That
So
integration.
it is basically it's combining all the services. I mean, SOA
Yes.
will let you.
So
Yeah.
SOA,
So
SOA
yeah,
is not a language. It's a technology.
it's
It has
it's not a
it's a,
language. It's a
yeah.
technology.
It's a
Will
technology.
let you combine the services.
Yes, it's a technology. It has, on that technology you can integrate all the components which comes under the fusion middleware.
Okay.
You can integrate,
Yes.
and that
Integrate
integration
all.
part, which is going to be agile your business process, and it has going to be improving. It has going to be ready to. I mean, you are, by integrating that, what you are telling, we are ready for adapting the new changes or new challenges. It is ready
Mm-hmm.
for all those things because here we are not depending on one system or one application.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we are making it as a service, and we are reusing that one. So understood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are
Mm-hmm.
combining those services.
So if we take the example of e-business application, right? So because you work in e-business, right? So in e-business, if we take the example of e-business application with SOA, So if you make any changes in the e-business application, and those changes will basically the SOA will take those changes and
No,
as a
no, no, no.
services. I mean,
See what you are doing again. You are misunderstanding actually. See,
okay,
you are using the Oracle e-business suite. So
okay,
generally, if I don't have SOA, I also need to use the e-business suite for
mm-hmm,
communicating with you,
mm-hmm,
for communicating with your application.
right,
So what I'm doing, so I'm using some other one. What is that? Probably it is Microsoft Dynamics, right?
uh-huh,
I'm using other e-business suite. Other SOA business, I mean SAP business suite, e-business suite I'll use, right? Instead of
uh-huh,
this one. But what I'm doing, so I don't want to do any changes at the SOA, SAP business suite, e-business suite, or Oracle e-business suite. I can change in my SOA integration part, which is going to be reflecting to the all areas. Understood
in
my point?
e-business suite also, in
E-business suite
e-business suite.
also. We are not changing anything on the client machines. We are changing our integration
Oh,
level.
oh, okay, changing at the SOA level.
Yes, SOA level. SOA generally which use the web services language for
Okay,
designing and developing those applications. We are not touching
okay.
whatever you have the clients, you have it.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
are
okay, okay, okay. Okay, we are not touching any of those
any of them.
applications. I mean,
Those not
yeah,
get affected.
yeah, we are making changes in the SOA itself.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Understood clearly?
right, right.
Right. All right. So then after that, so I think so tomorrow we'll continue rest of the part. So you will get complete
Okay.
clarity about. So till now we have seen why SOA introduced. Okay. Tomorrow what we
Mm-hmm,
will see,
mm-hmm.
why SOA suit. Okay. What are the benefits?
Benefits, I mean, yeah.
See, this is
Okay.
the reason actually. See,
Yeah.
so by using this, what we can able to do, we have some set of standards. So all we can
Uh-huh.
able to communicate. That integration was very easy.
Uh-huh.
And you see here,
Oh, so now you showing the new telephone connection service
yes,
with
that is
SOA, I
earlier
mean,
one.
right
That is
before.
earlier one. Which by using the
Yeah,
SOA
same earlier one. Now you're showing us with SOA, I mean.
with SOA.
Okay, okay.
See here
So yeah,
what
if you go through this, I mean, it will be more helpful to understand clearly now.
yes clearly,
Yes.
and you will get complete
Yeah.
clarity. No problem about
Okay.
that. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Right. So tomorrow what I will do, I will complete this one and I will start about that version differences.
Yeah.
10G,
Okay.
what are the Oracle source with 10G components we have? What is the 11G
Right.
and what is the Oracle source with 12C? Then later
Okay.
onwards, we will see that the
Mm-hmm.
Oracle source with components. Then
Mm-hmm.
later, we'll see that web services component and system requirements, and later we'll see the installation part. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Then one by one we will go on. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Understood. Right. Clearly.
Yeah. So far, so good. Okay.
So, and again,
Okay.
meanwhile, by tomorrow, I can able to send the material to you also, which I have actually Oracle
Right.
University material, which I will
So
send
you
to you.
watch my email. Basically, you watch my email. I'll be just sending you the ID. I mean. Okay.
Okay, sure, sure. You
Yeah,
can send.
mostly, I mean, probably in next couple of hours, I'm gonna go and do that. It's gonna be too late on your end, I mean, so whenever you get up in the morning, you can look at it and then just go for it. You
Yeah,
can
sure,
go,
sure, sir.
yeah,
You do your way, and then I can tell you
yeah,
tomorrow at evening. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
And
Okay,
so thank you. We'll meet tomorrow and do the rest of the
okay,
process.
thank you for teaching me, I mean, I appreciate it.
Right. So you will get it. Like this is more interesting actually. So also it is more interesting.
Very interesting, I mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So because
definitely,
which is related to some part
yeah,
of you.
exactly. Oh yeah. That's why. I mean, they asking. I mean, everywhere. I mean, this technology. I mean,
Yeah. Sure. So because
Yeah.
why so I mean Oracle apps developer was not there because of this SOA integration. Because
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be, they are concentrating more in a fusion middleware part instead of that e-business suite. Because that one
Mm-hmm.
area. So if you integrate, all people are concentrating on the middleware part, right?
Yeah.
This fusion middleware part instead of that one e-business suite.
Correct.
That is also they will make it as one adapter, and if you want, you can access Oracle e-business suite also, like PeopleSoft
Mm-hmm.
adapters, all like adapters only.
Right.
So there is a reason actually. The Oracle apps developers are going to be reduced day by day. Okay,
Hmm.
there is a reason. So the moment the
Yeah.
Oracle Fusion middleware came out into the market, so they're
Mm-hmm.
more keen about the Oracle Fusion middleware than e-business. It was there, but never goes out. But what I'm trying to tell, there was no
Hmm.
further upgradations or further updates.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So all it said and go through that
All
remaining
right.
process. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope so. Tomorrow you don't have any issues, right? We'll start at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll sharp start at 9. I mean, yeah. I have no issues tomorrow, man. Yep.
Yes, I'm recording everyday sessions, and at the end I will
Okay.
forward all the videos to you. This time
No problem.
I'm doing very keen. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So all right, because
All right.
these are my links. Actually, I can do my own way. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is not I am doing
Okay.
anybody. Okay.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much, Syed. Have a good day.
Thank you.
We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah. You too.
And you
Yeah.
can send to me
Thanks.
mail, and I'll look at tomorrow.
Yeah. 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 I will go ahead and forward the email. I will send you that information today. I'm gonna go and go like in about an hour, or maybe like an hour, 1.5,
No.
and get it done. I mean. Okay.
So tomorrow, I mean, for me it is tomorrow, and we'll able to take it.
Yeah.
And I will.
Oh yeah,
I'll,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's only take like once I send it, you can withdraw the money like in an hour. I mean, but
No.
mostly, I mean, it's gonna be night time. Everything will be closed there. I mean, by the time So I think they usually close by this time. I guess. I mean, right? In India, all the Western Union.
No, you know right about India.
Yeah,
Right after up to 10:30, 11 o'clock. Up to 10 o'clock only everything there is closed.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
No,
but here, I mean, there
already
are some places. In here, there are some places they work 24/7. You can
Oh,
go to any place.
really?
Yeah, 24/7. I mean, yeah. There's a place here. I can send the money 24/7. I mean, I can go like
Oh,
2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. They'll still be open, and they will operate. I mean, they'll operate and they'll send you the money.
oh, really? Great.
See, the business is different here. I mean, there are certain businesses are open, like the banks. I mean, they're not open like 24/7. The banks is,
Mm-hmm.
but banks talking about. But grocery stores, they're open 24/7. Grocery
Oh,
stores, gas stations, oh yeah, 24 by
oh,
7.
oh, some emergency services are 24/7, I think.
Oh, the hospitals, I mean, obviously the hospitals, they're also 24/7.
It's good,
Here
yeah.
they,
It's good
yeah,
actually.
that's why they say, I mean, the city never sleeps. I mean, many cities in US, they never sleep. People, they never sleep
Oh
because
God.
you'll be sleeping, the other people will be working. I mean, and then you working, those people will be sleeping. I mean, that's the kind of stuff
So
here.
abnormal, right?
Oh, yeah, things, I mean, very different here. I mean, they always moving. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how this.
we have to be catch the world, and world never
Yeah,
catches
that's
them.
how they grow so fast. I mean, because of
Yeah,
that. I mean,
they are. I mean, they are ahead actually. So before the world, they
yeah,
are thinking. So
yes, oh yeah, they're thinking so ahead. I mean,
so ahead actually.
yeah, because they only like. I mean, it's not like what
Now I
300,
understood
200.
Why Syed not able to came to the India. Now I understood.
Well, that's not well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Now I
it's.
understood because of all those services and comforts we cannot get in India. So that is the
Yeah,
reason.
comfort is there. I mean, there is no doubt about it. Even, I mean, even if you have average life, I mean, even people with making an average salary, I mean, I'm just talking about the average salary people making here, they are very happy, I mean, because the atmosphere is very nice, and basically the basic amenities I'm talking about, forget about everything. The basic amenities are so good here. I mean, it's so good. Everything is planned so nicely. Like for the kids, I mean, they have beautiful places to play, sports and libraries and education. Education wise, I mean, if you wants to, I
It's
mean,
like
if you wants to
well
pursue,
planned. I think overall
it's very well planned. I mean, if
very
you
well
wants to
planned.
pursue your education, if you're a hardworking guy, there is no limit here. There
Oh,
is no limit, absolutely.
yeah,
You
yeah,
get a lot
yeah.
of grants. I mean, so many, the grants will get. I mean,
So yeah, that's
there's a
why
lot of grants.
the,
Even the private organizations, the churches, like churches, I'm talking about the temples and, mosque in India, similar to that. I mean, the churches, those are the organization. They will help the people if you are a good student. I mean, you can get the scholarship. I mean, they will say, I mean, okay, I will give you $2,000 scholarship every year for you. I mean, until you finish
Oh,
the education.
oh,
The
that's
other
really
person
great.
will say, I'll give you $1,000. So if you combine all that, I mean, the person will study in a free. I mean, he doesn't have
Yeah,
to pay anything.
yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of places. I mean,
Yeah,
if you are a good student, they'll give you 100% scholarship. The colleges.
yes. All we need is dedication. I think so.
Yeah, if you are a
Yeah.
good student,
See, by
it
saying all
depends. I
this,
mean,
by saying all these things, I'm also interested to come over there actually. So whatever you are
yeah,
telling to me, so I'm also
yeah,
interested actually. The way you are explaining the things,
yeah.
which is impressed me actually.
Right. I mean, the place I live, I mean, in behind my house, it's so beautiful. And next to it, there is I mean, a small river, I mean, flows behind my home. I mean, it's so
Oh,
beautiful, the backyard and all that stuff is. It's just nice. I mean, if you sit outside, I mean, you feel so
good.
nice. I mean, if you take a cup of coffee and enjoy yourself. I mean, we can do that. I mean, I can do that in India. I mean, if I have to buy, I mean, I have to spend millions of dollars there. I mean, to get that kind of environment and space. I mean, there's no obviously there's no space in Hyderabad. I mean, right? There's no trees,
Oh
nothing.
God,
I
you
mean, it's
cannot
all
imagine.
gone. I mean.
You cannot
Yeah, you can
imagine.
imagine. It's like a concrete jungle. I mean, now everywhere you go,
Oh,
there's a high-rise buildings. They're blocking all the, I mean,
yeah,
air and everything.
yeah,
Natural.
it is just like what every people are thinking about commercial part. That is the main
Exactly.
reason.
I mean,
That is
yeah,
the main
but
reason. Who are
yeah,
having the dedication or who are having the intention, they are also not getting high results actually because of that point. So all are
yeah,
thinking about the commercial part. I mean, some
exactly.
people are thinking about actual genuine reason
Yeah,
actually. So I think
yeah,
there, I mean, by God's grace, the people are thinking like that, like what you said actually. By God's grace, in
yeah. I
your
mean,
area actually.
the other example I'll tell you. I mean, in years and years, I have not seen that. I mean, there is a electric shutdown here. I mean, I
Hmm.
never come across. I mean, maybe I don't know when was that. I mean, I can't. I don't even remember that.
Hmm.
There's no electric shutdown. I mean, we never happens that. I mean, no shutdown, nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I don't know when
Okay.
was that. I mean, and there is no water problem or
Yeah,
anything.
I heard.
No.
I heard some of the people. I think
So
So some
all
of my.
basic things. I mean, they covered nicely. I mean, we pay a lot of taxes here. I mean, we pay
But
good taxes. We pay taxes for the schools, property
no.
taxes, and all that stuff.
But you're
But I
getting.
mean, they provide you all those facilities also.
Yeah. See, they are giving, taking and giving, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the hospitals are very nice. People are extremely nice in the
And
hospital. I mean, they'll give you
I heard about some of.
200% attention to you. I mean,
Yes.
oh yeah,
I
they're
heard
very,
about.
very nice people. I mean,
Yes,
you
I
come
heard
from
about.
any
Yeah.
religion, from any background, they don't care. I mean, they really don't care. If you coming
So
from India with
that's
any
what we require
religion,
actually.
whatever it is,
No, that's what we
because
require. See, and at the end
right,
of the day, we are all human beings. You have to be support for human being, not for
yeah, they
religion, not
don't
for.
really care at all. I mean, they are so nice. I
Yeah.
mean, we go to the hospital. I mean, they're ready to take your slippers out from your, from your feet.
God, oh
They
God.
they can do so much. I mean, for you. I mean, if you go there, and
You,
even
I, I think
yeah,
so. You never come, Sayed, to India actually.
yeah, even the doctors are so nice. I mean, they're
Yeah.
commercial, but I mean,
See, commercial
it's.
element
I mean,
is there for every way, every area, but
everywhere. I mean, they do. I
yeah,
mean, there are some commercial
but
element, but
you
at the
have to be
same time, they.
you have to be expect some services also, right? You're including the
Yeah,
commercial
yes,
part.
and they were nice and they're very fair upfront. I mean, they will say that, I mean, if the person is going to live is going to live alive, or what's the problem with him, and what's going to happen with this person. They will frankly tell that. They will not hide anything. I mean, I kind of heard, I mean, some stories in India that, I mean, if they wants to keep the patient in the hospital, they simply say that, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this with this person.
You know
Yeah,
about the Indians, right? So
yeah,
just like,
they just prolong. I mean, I heard all kinds of stories. I mean, yeah, so
it's true
it's
actually.
not
That's
like that
true
here.
actually. See,
Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, nope, nope. Because
see,
the
they
other
are
thing
not.
is
They are
when,
not. See,
yeah,
They are not come to the point directly.
yeah, because here
So,
is at the end of the day, they liable to answer you. I mean, if they play any games.
and I think so. And
If,
people are honest over there. I think so.
oh yeah,
By
they're very honest. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they're very honest. Very honest.
So
Honesty is always there. I mean, because I remember, I mean, when I buy something, I 2 months back, I said, I mean, hey, I didn't like this. I mean, so okay, they never ask any question. The only thing, is there any problem with the product, sir? Oh yeah, I use this product. This is not working. Okay, we'll return this. Okay, this is your money. Okay, wait.
so
They
in
don't
India,
ask.
you have to fight it in India for getting
Oh
back.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
though there is no guarantee for getting back.
Right. I mean, there's things there. I mean, in this world and the other world, there's a lot of different things. I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the plus the younger kids. I mean, the younger kids, they grow up here. They are so honest, and their heart is so clean. I mean, their heart is so clean. Honestly, I'm speaking, they have no concept of, oh, he's a different religion, I'm a different religion, he's a different religion. They never talk about it. I
Oh,
have my daughter, they have good friends, I mean, good friends from India with different religion. They are so good, they never talk about anything. I mean,
oh,
they're so good because their minds are not corrupted, their heart are so pure, mind are so clean. They are so clean people. I mean, the young
yeah,
generation I'm talking about,
yeah.
they don't even think that at all. I mean, and they're good friends.
Oh, good,
They're
good,
very good friends.
nice. So basically,
That's how things work.
we need to be clean from our heart. It should like very
Yeah.
clean for others or from others also.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to be pure, and we can expect pure from others.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, things is well, that's how it is. I mean, so I really appreciate that. I mean, the young generation here that they're growing up here is they have no um, and nothing against anybody. I mean, they don't hold any grudges against anyone. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't matter, irrespective to the religion, irrespective to the religion. They
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
really care. I mean, yeah, she's coming. My daughter is coming from
And
other religion. The
yeah,
other one is coming from different religion, but they are extremely good friends.
it's too good, right? It
They
will be
come,
like that.
yeah, they come to my house. My daughter goes to the house, and they are best friends.
Oh God, it's really awesome
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. They don't have anything in their mind at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's good actually. That's
yeah,
whatever you're saying absolutely it's required actually for grow together actually.
right. And the
See,
problem is, I mean, these kids, I mean, when they grow up here, they will not come to India, man. I'm telling you frankly, they will
yeah,
not. I mean, even if I bring them, it doesn't matter. It's not me. I mean, anybody I'm saying
anybody.
from any religion, they're staying here. I mean, people came from India and staying here. I mean, their kids, they will not go back. Yeah. If you ask them, no, we don't want to go.
No,
Yeah, we went to India, but I mean, it's nice, it's fun. We have a lot of fun in India. It's a great place. We enjoy it, but I mean, we don't want to stay there.
so that is what end of the day you want to tell.
End of the day, I mean, yeah, we'll go there. I mean, we'll go there. I know that my father came from India. That's his heritage. My grandfather is there. My uncles is there in India. We'll go and visit them. We'll have fun and we'll stay there for like yes, couple of months or maybe a couple of months is a long time for them. I mean, maybe
A month.
for 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, they'll go and they'll have fun and they'll come back.
And you cannot stay
No,
here, and you people are cannot adjust with this environment, this kind of weather. I think so.
yeah, they'll go crazy. I mean,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
so the suddenly completely changes that kind of environment and this kind of environment. So every day here people
Yeah,
are fighting for getting the Venice. So there it is not like
yeah,
that. Even they don't have anything. they're very cool and they're going very, peace,
Yeah.
all those, the
Hmm.
other kind of stuff. Here you cannot expect. See,
Yeah, everything. I mean, like I'm not saying everything is perfect here. I'm not saying
no, better
everything is
than India.
perfect. I
You
mean,
can say like that. You can
yeah,
accept the truths wherever we have, whether it is
yeah,
India or whether it
right.
is in somewhere.
So at the
We have to be
yeah,
accept the
so
truths.
right. So I mean, you have to evaluate what is best for you. I mean, in everything what we have seen here is life is very independent here. I mean, you
That's what.
cannot depend on
No,
anybody. I mean,
see,
no,
that
no.
is very important
Yeah,
for growing as a
right.
person, for growing as an organization.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Like
and
in
one
India, I
one
mean,
difference, one difference I can tell you, Sayad. See,
yeah.
there are many talented people available in India. So if they
Oh
get chance,
yes,
they will make it very bigger and bigger organizations. But they
yeah,
does not have economical background and all those due to the stuff.
yeah,
They are moving
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah,
They are moving into the alien part, something like that.
yeah,
US or UK
yeah.
somewhere. They are getting
Correct, correct.
better or very very good results over there than in India. They're
Because
using
they,
they're using the
yeah,
same method they're using, but they are getting very, I mean, they're very 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 good results, and they're very separate and unique. Example, if you will take the Satya Nadella, or I mean, who
yeah,
is the CEO of Microsoft, and
yeah,
the same colleague which he is in India is nothing.
yeah. Nothing. I mean,
Is
right?
nothing. Yes,
Because
you cannot
they,
imagine his packages per annum 500,
yeah,
I think 500 crores per annum.
yeah, yeah,
I guess
yeah.
so. That is right. I
Correct.
think I have read in
But what
newspaper.
I have learned in this country is, say, like you said, I mean, if they find someone is worth for them, they will immediately absorb that person. They
Yes.
will do whatever they can. They will say if they find some nice students coming from India, I mean, right? They're
Yes.
brilliant students. They will give them all kinds of free packages. The
Yes.
universities offer them, I mean, okay, we'll give you this here, we'll give you this, I mean, take this free package. And
Oh,
they will somehow they bring and absorb them. And that's how they did, I mean.
yeah.
They bring the outside cream to United States, and the outside cream is the one they contributed a lot in United States.
And you don't know, and many of were got trained through me. They're very, very, very grateful towards me actually. They're very, very,
Yeah,
they're very, very, whenever they'll make it, they'll send some messages to me. They still get in touch with me. They're very, very, very passionate about, they're making the relations and all those. So
yeah.
I appreciated
I
like
mean,
kind of that
because
approach.
when we hear, I mean, we learn those kind of stuff. I mean, because I'm taking a class, I just wrap up the class with Wilshire Technologies. I mean, so the lady, I
I
mean,
know his
she
name is
teaches
Madhu, I think, Wheelchair Technology.
Wilshire Technology,
Yes,
and
yes.
he didn't teach the class. I mean, there's another lady, she
Okay.
teaches the class. I mean, so we really appreciate so much. I mean, that I mean the way she put her efforts and she teach the class, she was so happy. I mean, she always tell us that I mean you guys are great. I mean you guys really appreciate my
Work stuff.
my teaching, my work. I mean so
Yeah.
we I mean now we write a good email to the Wilshire Technology and told them that I mean this is what we got and this is what we I mean
No, that,
got from you guys. So
yeah,
they
yeah.
really appreciate the office manager, some by name MV and Rao. I mean, so he really
Yes,
appreciate
that
that. I mean,
Wheelchair Technology is the first institute. It was the first institute for the database actually.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
the old one actually. It's a very very old
Right.
one.
So,
Now,
I mean, basically what I have seen people coming from India and staying here, I mean, for a longer time, I mean, the people, I mean, they learn a lot in this country and they learn their culture and they,
and they won't back.
I mean, yeah, and they develop a lot of good working ethics also, you know,
No,
because they
see,
learn some good work.
according to my knowledge, actually, see, for doing the work, earning the dollars, it's not a matter actually. For getting the good
Yeah.
ethics, it's very important.
Yeah, good ethics, I mean,
Yeah,
that's how you develop here, I mean.
yeah. Anybody will get it. Everybody have some point, and they will get their money and every kind of stuff. But ethics cannot teach by anybody.
Yeah.
That you can that all the society related stuff. You have to be learn yourself by
Yeah. Yeah.
interacting with the people. So that is only the way you can get it. You cannot get from the textbooks, and you cannot get from anywhere. You have
Yeah.
to be get from the society, and you have to give it back to the society.
Right.
So that is what I expect. Is that true or not?
Yeah. Yes. 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 Very true. Yes. Very true.
Yeah, I have found some friends actually. His name is Ishak and something Ishak Garia. Those are very good friends of mine actually. After completing the, I mean, they got after they got trained to me. They're very very good
Mm-hmm.
actually. They're very very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're very very appreciated me. So you are the guy, only one guy find like me. They're telling some facts from their hearts actually.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's really
Very
true
true.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right. Okay. All right. I'll see you
All right.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow at the same
Thanks.
time and we'll continue the
Okay.
rest of the lesson. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.